As we revitalize Calgary, do we need to be focused on some of those? I think we've had some kind of cleanup issues. Has Calgary changed now? Do we need to do anything to make people feel safe, to make it attractive? I guess that's part of, you feel safe, it's attractive city. And is there stuff we need to do, and have we changed really during this last, I like to call it 4 years, but it's really 2 years. So
I think we've woken up and realized
Mhm.
that there's things that we took for granted that maybe we really need to think about a bit more. And, I think when times were good, we forgot about people that were, experiencing the city in a very different way. I'll
Mhm.
use accessibility as an example. I have a friend who has cerebral palsy. And when I have lunch with him or I go to meet with him for a coffee, we have to very intentionally plan where
Mhm.
he can go because he can't
Mhm.
get around everywhere in the city. And, he's someone that I met about 5 or 6 years ago, and I never knew the struggles that he had
Mhm.
living in this city. And so I think we forget about things like that.
Mhm.
If you consider the situation with homelessness right now,
Mhm.
I think we kind of just went, okay, it's a problem that we need to deal with, but we didn't think about solutions. And I think we've realized that in order to address things like homelessness, you have to look at the root cause.
Mhm.
What happened in somebody's life to create the kind of trauma that they no longer have a roof over their head? And
Right.
what do we need to do to intervene to provide the supports that are necessary? So I think
Yeah.
we've had time for self reflection as well. And I
Mhm.
think we've realized that once you help the most vulnerable people have equal access to the city,
Mhm.
everyone will thrive, everyone will succeed.
Right. Yeah. And I guess, we need to make it, there needs to be, economics comes into play with a lot of problems, and if it's economically more viable to stay within a problem than to go and be outside the problem.
Mhm.
So we need to make it so that there's opportunity, we can help people socially and through social programs, but we also need to create opportunity for them to excel, not just fix. We need to move past that. And I don't know if you've noticed, you probably spend a fair bit of time downtown,
Yeah.
and downtown's a little evolved right now. Like there's a lot more people clearly not working,
Mhm.
wandering around the streets. Like it's changed a little bit.
It
That'll take some
has.
time to clear up.
Yeah, and you know what? I think the other thing is, I really hope that people remember when we were banging our pots and pans, and we were
Yeah.
thanking grocery workers, and we
Hmm.
started using the phrase, "All work is essential." It
Yeah.
is. So
Yeah.
let's not forget that. I mean, when I hear the refrain of jobs, jobs, jobs,
Hmm.
and everyone only looks at the private sector and they only look
Yeah.
at, office jobs, let's not forget about the people that are driving you to that job.
Yeah. That's
Let's
right.
not forget about the people that are actually cleaning those offices that
Hmm.
you work in. There is an entire sector of the economy that is not what we've been driving. So let's make
Right.
sure that we remember all of those positions that are needed and the fact that employment means all jobs matter. And let's start
Right.
generating those opportunities for people.
Yeah. What do we do to, and some of that is, you're right. Like we have to bring business to Calgary. We have to bring it from outside. So we kind of have to, build an environment for business to come here. We need to support business that's already here. And then we also have to invent stuff that we have the capacity to invent, but just haven't figured out what it is yet. How do we bring in on the first front, how do we bring in that business and make Calgary an exciting place? We have lots of vacant space. How do we make it an exciting space to be in for them?
Yeah, Calgary Economic Development has a pretty strong strategy about the things that they're going to
Hmm.
focus on. They're focused on things like agri-tech, and tech is an interesting concept. There's a lot of people that say the tech sector has to come here. Well, tech is table stakes.
Yeah.
Any business that's successful right now, tech is part of their model. So
Yeah.
we just need to
Absolutely.
make sure that we can keep up with that. But I think the way that Calgary Economic Development can go about bringing businesses here, the best way is to ensure that the business leaders who already live here or operate their businesses here are the ones that are going out on those delegations. I mean,
Mm,
those are the people that prospects want to hear
right.
from, not the
That's great.
politicians.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we need to do more of that. We need to look at our local success
Hmm.
stories and then put them on the global stage and invite people to come here.
Yeah.
So I think there's a huge role for that organization to continue playing in our city.
Hmm.
And that's how we will make sure that we it's not just about attracting talent, but you retain talent as
Yeah,
well
that's right.
by recognizing the folks that are doing good work here.
Yeah, and it's we have to re-envision a little bit of we have an awful lot of oil and gas technology here, and it's not some of oil and gas isn't immediately transferable into just any other technology. It's
Mhm.
a there is a process of change, and we have to re-educate people. We have to provide incentives possibly to help them find new opportunities. So, but Calgary's a pretty exciting place. I think you're here, so it
I
must
think
be
it's a very exciting place. And you know
yeah.
what? You just brought up something that I think is incredibly interesting. In your field, you're looking at people's skill sets and you're looking at
Mm,
transferable skill sets.
yeah.
And you have that creative mind that says, okay, this job opportunity exists. This individual has done this in the past. I
Hmm.
think that could translate well. I think we
Hmm.
need to be doing the same thing with our business
Yeah.
ventures. You know, we did this incredibly well. This is the current situation of the world. What can we take and bring over here to start a new type of business?
Yeah.
So I think by working with more people like you who understand the
Yeah.
value of transferable skills and transferable ideas, that's how we'll get places.
Yeah. And and certainly when a business does that, they're putting in something different from outside, and it changes the recipe really, and it gives them uniqueness in some cases, and different exposures to different things. So it can be very, very powerful. So
It
yeah.
can be, and it picks up on something you said. You had indicated that at some point we got very myopic. And I think
Mm,
businesses and human beings get myopic as well. We know what we
yeah.
know and we stay concentrated in. If you open your eyes and your ears to new ideas and you start to understand what component of them could
Hmm.
completely change the game,
Yeah.
that's the stuff we need to be doing.
Yeah.